Hey, ladies and gentlemen. This is Javier with the real Javier Novoa, where we apply the principles of spirituality, philosophy, and mysticism to rapid lifestyle transformation. This week is going to be pivotal on our channel because we are going to start presenting actual physical and concrete steps that you can take, well, physical and mental, for rapid lifestyle transformation. And guys, it's very early morning here. It's a cold morning here, and I just got back into town from a trip that I took. And I just wanted to briefly talk about a topic, and that is what the Stoics now, or at least what Ryan Holiday calls Amor Fati. And this means loving whatever happens. And this is taken, it's actually a statement from Friedrich Nietzsche, but it's taken from the writings of many Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. And I just wanted to briefly muse on how this goes into the material that we teach in our course. Because in our course, of course, there is one methodology which is taught heavily by Neville Goddard in that tradition, and it is based upon the biblical story of the unrighteous steward. We did do a video on that. I'd recommend that you watch that video. In the very early days of our channel, we did that. But the first step to being able to go back in the past and revise an incident, well, first of all, what is revisions? It is where you go back in the past to an incident that, say, happened in a way that you did not like. And you revise that, the premise being that when you change the cause, the effect changes. So therefore, if you change the past, the effect would change. And this is certainly an effective technique. But in order to do that, you have to be able to put yourself in the state of believing that that has indeed happened, and you have to have the feeling of that. The first step to doing that is accepting what happened and actually loving what happened. You have to take that step of loving what happened before you can effectively revise what happened. Because if you try to revise from a state of fear or from a state of hate, then it's not going to be effective, because as we know, the mind and the heart have to be in alignment. You have to have a thought and an elevated emotion, as Joe Dispenza would describe it, in order to manifest in the physical. So the first step is Amor Fati, loving whatever happens to you. So if my business closes, I love it. This is, of course, easier said than done. If I get some disease or some bad news, I love that. And you probably cannot do this, the bigger the situation is, you cannot simply do this all at once. But you endeavor to do this, because once you change the way you're looking at the reality, as the great Wayne Dyer said, reality changes. So if you come at this reality from the point of view of love and from the point of view of acceptance, then that reality will have a different effect upon the future, because it is all about vibration. So I just wanted to read what Marcus Aurelius said about Amor Fati. And he said, he said in the Meditations, not merely to bear what is necessary, which is a level, of course. It's better than complaining about it. It's better than hating it. Still less conceal it, and we went into the video about confessing and declaring yesterday, where we don't conceal or suppress our feelings or try to deny what happened, because that would be counterproductive. And then it would just come up vibrationally in another scenario. All idealism is mendacity in the face of what is necessary, which we could take issue with that statement. But love it. So he said we do not deny it, we do not seek to suppress what happened in the past, but we actually love it because we know that it creates what we are today. And, as we know from Abraham Hicks, whenever something that we don't like happens, it shoots off a rocket of desire, and immediately what we want is there put in our vortex. And then all we have to do is align with that. But first we have to stop hating what happened, and indeed, loving what happened is the most powerful modality there. Of course, Friedrich Nietzsche said, talking about the formula for human greatness, he said that one wants nothing to be different, not forwards, not backwards, not in all eternity, not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it. Quoting the great Marcus Aurelius. And of course, everything is the same. Everything is repeated in cycles and patterns. That's because all of the vibrations are already given. But what we can do is change the vibration and change the tune. For example, all of the musical notes are already given. However, it's up to us to arrange any piece, and we can make an infinite number of pieces from those notes that exist. This is what is meant, I believe, when the Stoics and others talk about fate and the circle of returning and so on and so forth. And we will discuss this in further videos. Also, Marcus Aurelius said, a blazing fire makes fire and brightness out of everything that is thrown at it. And Epictetus said, do not seek for things to happen the way that you want them. Rather, wish that what happens happen the way it happens, and then you'll be happy. How can we understand this from the point of view of this course in a vibrational manner? Well, we have to go a bit deeper here, because we can change the past, as we said, through revision, and we can change the future by getting on another film roll and by focus. But I believe the essence of this is knowing the laws of the universe and how they work, which is the law of attraction and the law of assumption, which basically says you get not what you want, but what you vibrate. And the universe hears not what you say, but what you're vibrating and your state. And that process, you have to love it. And whatever has happened due to your vibration, you realize that that is an indication to you of the law. You realize that that's an opportunity for you to immediately align with what you do want. It's an opportunity to clarify indeed what it is that you want. Therefore, you should love that process. And that is the deeper understanding of Amor Fati. That is how we apply that to our course. But when something bad happens and you're in an emotional holding pattern, you're stuck in a very low negative emotion, you can't even try to change that in your mind because of the fact that the negative emotion is so strong. Then what you have to try to do is love it. You have to realize that that is all based upon cause and effect. You have to realize that you're in a film role, which is already predestined, as Vadim Zeland said in Reality Transurfing. And you have to love that. And when you can bring yourself to love that, you're automatically in a positive emotion, and then you can get to a more favorable film role, and you will live a better life. So ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to make this short video about Amor Fati. If you find our material of value, please subscribe and like. It's the way we get the word out, and it's how we get the algorithm to come to our favor so that we can bring this information to people who need it and who can benefit from it. Until very soon, this is Javier with great love and appreciation. Have a great day.